Going on, guys? Welcome back to the Leave It to the Judges MMA show. Big weekend of fights, super eventful. We're going to be covering UFC 291 and the Crawford versus Spence fight. Let's start on the MMA side, boys. Though, where do you guys want to start? Do you guys want to start down the prelims a little because there were some pretty standout performances, in my opinion.
We could really skip the CJ Vergara fight because that shit was kind of mid, but
That was a weird fight.
I'm down to go from the Bonfim fight or the Kopylov. Like we can go like either way.
I just want to quickly talk about Roman Kopylov. He looked kind of scary out there, man. Like I think he's definitely someone to look out for. I'm not sure how old he is, but I was really impressed by his performance.
Yeah, his striking was definitely crisp, like fighting behind the jab. Like, yeah, I yeah, definitely someone to keep your eye on. I didn't. I don't. I feel like they didn't grapple that much in the fight. Like if I remember correctly, it was mostly striking. But like in the striking, he looked crisp.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The fight was whatever. He got the knockout.
he's never been a grappler, more of a striker. He used to get tired a lot though. He's definitely worked on his conditioning and the striking looks more crisp than I've ever seen it. He's pretty young in his career as well. So definitely one to look out for. What weight class? Middleweight?
Yeah,
Okay.
Middleweight's a fucking row of killers. That's a murder's row up there.
yeah. Middleweight's scary. Let's go. Well, yeah, like X said, let's skip the Bagara fight. It was kind of all over the place. Okay, now this fight, it was obviously really quick. But this Gabriel Bonfim dude is scary, man. The way this guy moves and stuff, this guy's scary. What are you guys' thoughts on the fight?
Definitely. I watched the what was it, the Contender Series where the Bonfim brothers got on. We watched
Mm.
that shit together, Clark. I've been really high on them, but like of the two, like they're both hella talented, but like it's pretty obvious that like Gabriel was the more like dominant brother. And he showed that. I mean, Trevin Giles, like UFC vet, been around a long time, like experienced guy, and he really made it look pretty easy here, honestly. Did not take him long. Got that sub, like, hey, I'm really
Yeah,
high on the Bonfim brothers. Like, what division was this?
this is welterweight, and he
Welterweight?
looked big. He looked big for welterweight.
He is.
Welterweight has some killers, but like I feel like Bonfim is definitely up there with anybody, I would say, at this stage.
Okay,
At least anyone like in the top 10, I feel like he could have a good match with at the bare minimum.
I agree. I think he just needs a little more experience, and I think he needs to be tested more. But yeah, he's a specimen. Absolutely. Clark, any
Definitely good
thoughts?
prospect.
No, I mean man's a beast. He's good on the ground. Good on the feet. He's good everywhere, honestly. It's weird that he's the younger brother and like he's like so much bigger than the other bomb team. Like he's so much bigger. So that's kind of funny to me. I don't know why, but like he's up like three weight classes to him, right? Or like two. Like he's like weight because I think the other
Who
bomb
up?
team's a
It,
bantamweight, no? Or is he a lightweight? Oh no, he's a lightweight actually. My
he's a
bad.
lightweight.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
but yeah, Gabriel Bonfim definitely someone to fucking look out for. Good
he's a
sub.
beast. He's a beast.
They should turn him around quickly. Definitely get him maybe on that November card. He should be
I'd say
fighting.
I'd say give him a ranked fighter now. He's been running through everyone so far. Like it's been all first round finishes, I think, up to
You
this
could
point.
you could put him in the top 15 for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the main card, boys.
Ooh.
Kevin
Crazy
motherfucking Holland, man. By
Holland, bro.
submission, crazy. Like that's not how I expected that fight to go.
Yeah.
We all know Kevin Holland has good submission skills. Decent off his back. For my liking, he usually is a little too comfortable off his back, which like can lead to him losing rounds and shit, just talking shit from his back. But I mean, you see what happens when he puts it all together. And yeah, like Chiesa's a nice feather in his cap. Someone that was like, you pretty much knew he was gonna try to grapple with him type shit. So you could argue like Kevin Holland's kryptonite is his like like dominant grapplers like Chiesa, but like hey, I fucking backed him and he round one man cracked him and subbed him. I love it.
Yeah. The only really grappling issues that Holland has, I'm pretty sure, was at middleweight against guys like I think it was Vittori, Brunson, Hamza, and those are huge guys. And Chiesa's a grappler himself. I'm not going to take anything away from Holland, and I feel like people shit on Chiesa too much, but his stand-up was terrible. It was bad, Chiesa's.
I mean, he was coming off like a 2-year layoff, so that shit didn't do it. That didn't do him any favors. He probably thought like, it's Holland, I can take him down and sub him, but like definitely not.
Yeah.
I feel like that Hamza. I mean, I guess after the fight, Holland said he has a full-time wrestling coach now, which like I don't understand why these fighters like take forever to like fix the holes in their game. Like, why do you have to wait until you get dominated on the ground so many times before you get a full-time wrestling coach? Like, you should have been on that shit. It shouldn't take getting manhandled by Hamza for you to realize, like, I need to be able to wrestle better. But whatever works. Like, he's still 30, so he has hella time. So I mean, yeah, I'm real impressed with Holland. Like going forward, I'm hoping that he just keeps that wrestling going because on the feet, I feel like he can stand with mostly everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I was impressed all the way around. Chiesa, I mean, Ed just said a lot of people shit talk on him. I'm probably one of them. He is old. He's getting up there in age. Like, I didn't really give him a chance in this fight because also, like, Kevin Holland, I feel like at the higher weight class, 185, he just had a tough time with the dudes who were just bulky, like Vittori and all of them. And I think at this weight class, it's much easier for him to defend these takedowns. Because he defended, or did he? No, Chiesa didn't even get a takedown, did he? Really?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it says 0 of 5 right here. So
Yeah. No, I just remember the submission on it. I mean, that was the whole fight, basically, the sub. But no, very impressed. He still has a lot of time to work on his defensive wrestling and jiu-jitsu and everything like that. But I think he's very pure and could go toe to toe with most people, at least in this division. I mean, the strikers at the top are not the best at striking. So
I feel like
besides Leon,
Thanks. After the fight, he said he wants to go back up to 85. So I don't like that, bro. Like,
not the move.
Yeah. I was
it.
just about to bring that up.
Not the move, bro. Like, personally, like, I get like wanting to, not focus so much on weight cutting, enjoy your life a little bit. He said he wants to eat some steaks, but like, stack some wins, bro. Stack some wins in this division. Like, where you can actually be a fucking player.
I was going to ask you guys that what division he should stay in. I feel like the obvious answer in terms of wins is 170. If you look at the top 10, he can compete with some of these guys. Like, but it's, yeah, like you guys said earlier, 185 is just death row, bro, especially with wrestlers and grapplers.
Like, honestly, man, he could beat Bilal Muhammad. I'm not going to lie. Like, he could take him out. Like, I could see it easily.
I don't know about, like, I don't know, man. Bilal might grapple him into a pace, bro. Like,
Stuff to take down, and what's Bilal going to do on the beat after that?
So really quickly, let's start doing this. Let's just pick a fighter in the rankings. Who's next for Holland? I think the obvious answer is Neil Magny.
I give him Neil Magny. I don't want to say an easy fight, but like I can see him pretty much winning that bitch.
Or Luke.
I would go as high as Geoff Neal, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I would throw him in there with Neal and see what he can do, to be honest, like as a litmus test.
Well, Jeff has a fight, no?
Does he?
Yeah, I think he's fine. Who's he fine? He has a fight scheduled. Oh, I think it's against Ian Gary.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's a crazy fight.
That's a good one. That one's a little tough for Gary. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I think Neil might take that one. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a weird fight.
I'm taking Ian Gary, but like
I'm doing it. Yeah, he's the new Connor, man. We got the new Connor in the house.
That's dangerous, though, for sure. I would say.
All right, so let's go. Let's say Kevin Holland. We'll match him up with Neil Magny. What's next for Chiesa? Clark, you said no, nothing.
I don't know. I mean, who does he fight?
I don't know, to be honest.
Madalena, I feel like that's a dangerous fight for him. And like, he's not fighting Inger. I mean, I guess Neil Magny. Well, but they fought like 2 years or 3 years ago or something. But I mean, there's not much. Yeah, he has a fight next week.
Oh yes, Los Angeles, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, who Luque?
Yeah.
it's running RDA.
Okay. Two fighters that should fight each other, like, to be honest. Because I'm like, bro, I don't really know how many more people I can pick, like, Vicente Luque to beat from what I've seen recently, bro, personally.
Dude, I used to think he was like a next title challenger.
I'm taking RDA in that fight, honestly.
I mean, yeah, bro.
Even though
RDA is
RDA
not washed, at least.
All right, guys, let's move on.
Oh no.
Let's get sad let's get sad, boys. Bobby Green, 3rd round submission against Tony Ferguson. Very sad to see. Good showing for Bobby Green.
Yeah, Tony was doing decent at first. He got the knockdown, and it was just and then after that, Bobby Green was just too fast.
So before we talk about the fight, is there any validity to the whole eye poke thing? Let's just get it out the way. Was that an issue, or was it just?
I think that he did get poked in the eye. I don't think Tony Ferguson's the type to like bullshit, or like quit on himself or like none of that. I don't think he's the type to like look for a way out in there type shit.
Mm-hmm.
It looked to me like he did, like, like maybe even the glove might have gotten his eye a little type shit, like, because that's real. Like sometimes it's a punch, but like the glove might graze the eyeball, so it's like it's both a punch, but like the damage is from the glove getting the eye type shit. I believe Tony with that. And I feel like to that point he was having a good amount of success. But like, if I'm completely honest, man, unfortunately, Tony just looks old in there, man. Like he looks like his defense, his head movement, and like his punches are underwater. And I just don't think that, like, unfortunately, if you're not gonna give him like an old can, like, you damn near have to just retire, bro. Honestly, you know what I mean? Like,
that's now 6 L's in a row. He looks very stiff out there. He's very hittable. He's taken a remarkable amount of damage in his career. Plenty of surgeries, injuries. I just think it's time for him to pack it up. Like, he can have one more, like you said, old man fight, but we're done.
So Jim Miller. Oh, yo, look, him and Jim Miller, throw him in there together.
That's what I was thinking.
If you cannot beat Jim Miller, you're going. Like, right? Do you agree? Like, fuck.
I'm taking Jim Miller in that.
I know. And that's so sad.
Jim might beat him.
Miller's been looking good, decent, bro.
I'm sorry, but like, from my perspective, like, Tony Ferguson's, like, his jiu-jitsu was always like seen as like one of his main strengths, and it was one of the main reasons that like he was looked at as like the biggest threat to Habib for so long.
Yeah.
And I've just seen Tony Ferguson been getting submitted. Like, if you get submitted by Bobby Green. Yeah, submitted by Bobby Green. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, and yeah, like, it was off of being kind of rocked a little, but like, dude, like, you get submitted by Nate Diaz, and like, Diaz has good jiu-jitsu, but like, over their whole careers, I would have thought of Tony Ferguson's jiu-jitsu as better than Nate Diaz's. And like, I've seen people ground and pound Nate Diaz to a fucking pulp before. So like, for you to just be getting submitted by Bobby Green, like, I just feel like pack it in, bro, personally.
Yeah. And all those like personal legal issues, it's just, it's time to walk away. You've done enough, brother.
If you ever see this, Tony, like, I love you, brother. Like, please get out of the game. Like, coach, all of that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you have a lot more to give, but it may not be in the UFC cage.
I think we'll have one more fight. That's it.
So, like I said, we're not going to do a next opponent for Tony. He should probably, like, Jim Miller, whatever.
Jim Miller.
Bobby Green.
I was thinking Jim Miller, honestly.
Yeah.
You gotta give him someone like that. Because, I mean, as bad as he's looked, I will say Tony is fighting, like, a lot of really good comp. Like, he's not fighting bad fighters in there at all.
See, I was thinking that up until last fight. Like, he lost to Nate and Bobby Green, which are like...
Yeah, I mean, the Nate Diaz one, yeah. But, I mean, Bobby Green's a decent fighter.
Yeah.
Before that, definitely. But Bobby Green is significantly a step down from the kind of, like, fighters that Tony was fighting before.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, this one, it was all, like, ranked comp, like, top maybe 8 guys, at least. Like
Yeah,
now it's like, okay, Bobby Green, like fuck. Like I feel
I
like
get.
no version of prime Tony loses to Bobby Green.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
He
I
would
get.
he would out cardio him, grapple him, wrestle him. Like, where's Tony's wrestling? Like, what the fuck? Like I
Yeah,
don't
I'm surprised he went away from that. I mean, he's really just kind of ever since the Gaethje, like even in the Gaethje fight, I didn't really see him try to wrestle at all, which I was surprised by.
he starts doing Imanari rolls like when he's fucked up already, and it's like it's too late now, Tony. Like
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just sad. It's sad times, folks.
But
Sad.
next fight, let's move on to the winner, Bobby Green. Give him his flowers. Next fight for him, Paddy Pimblin. That's the fight.
I don't
Okay.
like that fight for Patty.
Neither do I, but I don't like Paddy. So it
Oh
seems
well,
like
see, I fuck with Patty, so I don't necessarily want to see him get pieced up by Bobby Green personally.
what do you
I
think, Nick?
I
I don't
think Petty could win that fight, honestly.
I feel like he could win that fight if it goes to the ground easy, but I mean it depends on if Patty is gonna come into the cage like realizing like okay like the upper echelon of the UFC can clip my ass like his chin too high for like someone like Bobby Green. I feel like
Yeah,
Patty's strength is his grappling. Like
Yeah.
yes he has power in his hands, but like make no mistake about it, his bread and butter is his jujitsu. So like
absolutely.
work on your wrestling and be on your grappling shit. And I feel like I would feel way more confident picking Patty in a lot of fights if I knew he was gonna play to his strengths more and not try to brawl.
Okay. Let's move on to our featured fight of the night. Lewis versus DeLima. The Black Beast is back. Flying knee knockout, first round. Crazy. Skinny
His
Derek Lewis.
his back is a stretch. But, oh yeah.
No, yeah, that's a
We
stretch.
knew he had this capability still. I didn't think he was this over the hill to get outstruck by someone like RDL. Like, there's no way. I'm
Dude,
surprised he came in with a flying knee, though. I will say that. Definitely looks more athletic, and he's starting to get some abs. I love it from our man.
in shape.
I wish he was not like almost 40 when he's doing this, but you
Yeah,
know, I mean it's heavyweight, so you know what I mean. You can have some long. I feel like he can still beat like anyone that's like not top 10 type shit. I would say probably.
I agree.
So, not much to talk about this fight. He had a great performance. I feel like the biggest storyline in this whole fight is Derek Lewis's. He's up for. He gets a new contract. His contract's over. You know, everyone's talking about, he's going to go to PFL and fight Ngannou again. Do you think he's going to stick with the UFC or like explore his options?
I feel like he's gonna stick with the UFC, man. I feel like at this point he's a company man. They're gonna pay him well. He's a fan favorite. You can always slap Derek Lewis like as like the third fight on a pay-per-view card. Like people will fuck with it. So or like maybe like the co-main and a co-main on like a fight night card. Like no one's gonna complain about that. I mean, he's probably making like over 200K minimum to like lose these fights sometimes. So it's like from his perspective, I just you know what I mean. For a man that like was mostly in this game for money, I'm sure he's doing very well for himself. Not like knockout fight of the night, like knockout bonuses, all of that shit. Like I'm sure he's made a lot of money in the UFC, and like the UFC probably has a good relationship with him. So I expect him to be back on maybe like another 3-4 fight deal. I'd be pretty surprised if he left, but I would say like if he left and went to like Bellator or something, like I would be like interested in that. Like just on some fight some lesser comp, like I bet he could fuck some people up over there. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah.
I feel like in the UFC his ceiling is pretty set. Like you're not gonna beat the top echelon, but like he's like
Too talented.
he's like a B tier. Like anyone who's not gonna grapple with him, he has a decent shot, or like that's not like a Cyril Gane level striker.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think he'll stay in the UFC. He says he wants to stay. That's what he
Yeah.
said. And yeah, I mean, unless like the UFC kind of throw him no money at all, like a very low paying contract, I mean, I don't really I think he'll stay and he'll probably get paid decent. Probably wait I would say he's gonna get paid probably much less than what he was making, but he'll probably get a decent deal at
I
least.
don't know, dude, because like
No, I think we'll get paid more.
from what I've seen, the UFC doesn't typically like
They don't care.
No, I'm saying they don't really offer people like lesser money because like I feel like with Derek Lewis, like all of his fights are going to be entertaining on some level. Like they're not paying him to be a champion. You get me? They're paying him to like entertain the people, and that he would do that in droves. So I feel like he would
I
still get a big contract off his name.
I
Yeah,
get
the
what
only
I think it's just my thing in that he just got like knocked out in the previous like 3 fights, so I could just see Dana pulling some shit, but I mean they probably had a good relationship, so I mean he'll probably get paid well.
Facts.
All right, now boys, let's move on to the co-main. Slightly controversial. I can't lie. Watching it live, I thought Jan won, but I
And
rewatched it.
that is a
I
big
thought
good.
I thought Pajeda won, and I thought it wasn't close personally.
Not at all.
Damn.
After round one, like once he started to like once Pajeda started to defend takedowns, like okay, obviously Jan grapple fucked him round one, right? We all saw it pretty
Mhm.
quickly. Was not on the feet for long. No argument that you can give like Pajeda that round, but I feel like he very clearly won round two, and I feel like he did enough in round three to where like that little takedown, like Jan literally, I was watching to see like okay, like are you gonna throw anything? Like, he had him on the ground for like the last like what 40 seconds, I believe,
Yeah.
It was
and
like
I didn't see him advance at all. Like, if anything, Pajeda was throwing elbows up. So I'm like, dude, like you really didn't do shit with that takedown.
Jan's gas tank really hurt him in this fight. I'm not saying he's known for having a bad gas tank, but he clearly got tired in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, he usually has a good gas tank. I mean,
Yeah.
from what I've seen in all of his fights, but I mean, the high altitude, that'll do that to you.
That I think Pereira was just also hitting him with some pretty hard shots, and like having
Yeah.
someone like Pereira in front of you for 15 minutes has to be exhausting. Having to worry about everything and all that
That's what
shit.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, I feel like just like the threat of like the consequences of standing with Pajeda were so great that I feel like he was probably panic grappling a little bit in the first round, like on some like I can't let him up shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's one thing when you're grappling somebody like Izzy, where you're like, if he gets up, like he's probably not gonna put me out with one shot. You know what I mean? Like the fear is not there as much. You can kind of like, okay, I'll strike with him a little bit, even if he's like, getting me. It's not gonna be with anything too damaging. I feel like with Potan, like 1 minute feels like five standing in front of that man. So I feel like he was
Facts.
panic grappling a lot, and probably Fajeda's a little probably harder to hold down than you would probably think looking at it. Type shit. He's a big dude in there, so I'm pretty sure he was working pretty hard to hold him there, like not letting him get up. And once Fajeda started stuffing takedowns, it was kind of fucked for him, from what I saw.
Yeah, 100%. I think Pereira looked great in his light heavyweight debut. I think training with Glover has enhanced his like training a lot. What do you guys think is next for Pereira though? What's next for him? A vacant title shot?
I would arguably wait. Hold on. Can we just go to the lightweight rankings real quick?
I would say him and Yuri for the title.
Yeah, and
Light
then winner
heavyweight
against
rankings.
Jamal Hill.
Okay,
Yeah.
my thing is this, right? I would probably favor him besides Ankalaev, maybe.
I think Rockets could give him
Most
issues.
people, Rockets, maybe, yeah, too.
Rocket's still hurt, isn't he? It's been a
He hasn't
while.
fought since Jan, yeah.
I could see Ankalaev grapple fucking him for sure. But besides that, like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna strike with him, like it could be problems up there for people, man. And it seems like he can probably take a better shot up there as well. I would imagine, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that cut to middleweight had to be killing him, diminishing the fuck out of his chin. So I think that he's gonna be pretty durable up here at light heavyweight. And like 5 rounders, like you give him 5 rounds, like that could be problems for people. I feel like.
Who would you take, him or Yuri, in a fight, 5-round fight? Fully healthy.
I'm gonna take Potan, and it's because Yuri fucking lost to Glover until he won. You feel me? Like Glover was whooping his ass and jumped on a ill-advised submission. Like,
I mean, it was 2-2 going to the final round.
well, I'm saying like that's Glover's old ass, bro.
I get what you mean.
I'm saying like if you can't if you're like getting like even in the striking with Glover, like no way I don't see that Potan puts you out in a 5 rounder.
You both think Pereira would beat Erie? If you had to pick.
Absolutely.
I think so. I think so.
But this is what I was just saying. I believe Yuri has a way better chance than Jamal Hill because I believe Jamal Hill or Yuri would beat Jamal Hill.
I think all of it. I mean, it's going to be a striking weight. Oh, wait 1 second. X left.
That's fine.
I'll just wait.
Yeah, how's it going, man?
My bad, bro. I was in a fucking game and it just wouldn't end.
What were you playing?
Overwatch.
Ah, okay.
So I was getting so mad. I was such in a bad mood, bro. It went so bad. I'm so pissed off.
I had to get the fucking Time Warp Tuesday cup for water and shit.
I have so many of those lying around.
I drink out of these bitches half the time anyway.
I threw those on the ground. I never kept those. At the end of the night, I would just throw them on the ground, like in my night.
Okay, let's Okay, so wait. I'm trying to think. All right, so like let's just say in about a year times, let's say at the end, let's say summer 2024, what is the light heavyweight division looking like? This division, I feel like it's always swapping champions, always people getting injured, John Jones, that whole thing. How do you guys see this division just playing out the next year or so?
What, light heavyweight?
Yeah.
I think Ankalaev will be the champ, honestly.
Yeah,
I think that's the right.
I can agree with that. If anyone's gonna dominate it for a minute, it's gonna be him. But I don't see anyone dominating it really.
I'd say besides him, I'd say honestly, Peja has a good chance to be there for a while.
If he can like keep evolving his grappling, like dude, like no one's fucking with him on the field.
Yeah, but like no, but like we were saying, like no one in this top half is wrestling.
Except Ankalaev. Ankalaev might go grapple.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, that's
yeah,
why like
yeah.
Besides Ankalaev, Peja would be like will be staying up there.
Hey man, Ankalaev has to get through Johnny Walker.
Hill and Yuri.
Bro, Ankalaev is gonna fuck Johnny Walker up. We can't act like that chin is real.
No, he's gonna destroy him.
The skills are real, but the chin is not.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Going into that fight, I'm gonna be rooting for Johnny Walker.
No.
Kavanaugh, baby.
I don't know if I can.
Rooting for Kavanaugh, like let's get it.
I don't know if I can either, to be honest.
I'm gonna pick him.
That's crazy as fuck.
Oh well.
All right, though, yeah.
Hey, if he knocks him out by flying knee, then we'll come back to here and we'll see.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Come on, Clark.
This man's athletic.
All right, though. Let's move on to the main event for the BMF belt. Justin Gaethje got the head kick KO. Pretty competitive first round.
Yeah. Bum belt.
What's up?
The bum belt.
Yeah, honestly,
the non-champions belt. Like imagine like Jorge Masvidal being the first one with that, and he's like a gatekeeper level.
I mean, honestly, so is Nick. So is Diaz. If you want to be honest about it, so.
But he wasn't the BMF champ.
No, I'm saying, but I mean, he could have been. Like either way, it was made for those level people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the BMF belt should just be fucking scrapped. I think it's kind of silly. It's whatever. I don't think it added anything to this fight. Like I was gonna watch it regardless. I don't give a shit about the fake belt.
I feel like maybe like just for the super casual, you know what I mean? That just needs to see something on the line type shit.
I guess, yeah. But anyways, what do you guys think about the fight?
I think what was really like at stake was the #1 contendership. You know what I mean? So, I think Gaethje is gonna get the next crack at Islam. I would say or Charles, but like we all know how that fight's gonna end. You know what I mean? Whole time.
Well, Charles fighting him.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm saying I would say Islam or Charles the winner, but I'm saying like we all know how that fight's gonna end.
I mean, it's gonna
And
be
still,
a very quick finish. See, that fight changed Oliveira. It's game on now. Like Beneil Dariush really thought it was sweet. Like he was like, "Oh, I'm on top, doing nothing basically." And then, "Oh, it's sweet head kick. Oh, it's sweet, sweet, it's sweet." Like we're different now. We're coming in, and it's gonna be a knockout. Get ready for that. Get ready.
I mean, if Volk couldn't knock out Islam, I don't think Charles is, to be honest.
Or Charles could beat Volk. Like, what are we doing here?
I would not favor him.
Like, imagine the scenario: Volk goes for a takedown, Charles lets him triangle instantly. Like
Dude, it's not that simple.
That's how it's going. Like, that's how it's going.
Really? Hey man, if you're gonna escape a mounted guillotine from Brian Ortega, I think he can survive.
No, I get what you mean. Charles is a different level, in my opinion. Ortega's a good level, but like this man.
What I'm saying is like that's like one of the worst positions to be in though. Like, and it was type shit.
Yeah, triangle, a pretty bad position.
All right, forget about the Charles shit. So we're talking about Gaethje and Dustin here.
Yeah.
It was a good fight while it lasted. I'll say that. Poirier was actually looking pretty good, I would say. I actually am surprised it only lasted like barely 2 rounds. I thought this would be a very deep scrap.
I thought it was gonna go at least into the 4th, to be honest.
And yeah, no one was expecting those head kicks.
Yeah, but the reason I didn't even bet on this fight. It was a 50-50 in my mind. But I was leaning Gaethje, I'm not gonna lie, before. And the reason was I thought he was a little more durable, especially in the later rounds. Just from like watching both of them fight.
I took Poirier, just because I thought that like I've just seen Gaethje cracked. He gets cracked in a lot of his fights, and like I feel like I've seen nothing to suggest that like Poirier shouldn't beat him. Like I haven't seen any like decline, even though like he's 35 now. Like Gaethje like 34, so it's like really they're about equal in terms of like who can fall off with like one more war type shit in my mind, and I haven't seen that from either guy. Gaethje was like I was tempted to pick him because like he looked great against Fiziev, but like the fact that like Poirier finished him before, I feel like Gaethje's cardio weans a bit more than Dustin's tends to in my mind. So yeah, but I was wrong on that. It didn't even fucking get there. Like honestly, fair play to Gaethje, man. He's definitely improved hella over the years, and like I'm proud of him, man. Like I fuck with it. I feel like he could be champion if not for like these dominant grapplers. You know what I'm saying? I would not favor him against Islam, but like
against Charles, how does he do again? He loses again.
It's a pretty similar fight, to be honest. I don't see Oliveira getting caught by a head kick.
Charles is again. See, that's the problem. Like I feel like Gaethje
any non-grappler, I feel like Gaethje could win against type shit.
What, against Oliveira?
No, I said any non-grappler, like Oliveira's a grappler. I'm saying like
okay. I mean, yeah, against non-grapplers, hey man, fight Conor, man. I heard that was a fight being made.
I was gonna say, dude, Gaethje versus Conor should have happened years ago. I get that Ali doesn't really like Conor. I don't think they'll give him the opportunity, but that's obvious. I think that's a perfect fight.
I knew Clark was going with that.
Yeah,
actually, no. Let me scrap that. Conor's got to fight Chandler. Forget it. I keep forgetting. Chandler needs to fight Conor. Like the whole tough thing.
Do we care about that now, though, that we have this fight?
But Clark, that's what I'm saying. That's like the fucked up part, bro. Like they went through that whole thing with Conor coming back for tough, getting the USADA pool. He's gonna fight at the end of December, end of the year. We have no updates. We have nothing.
I feel like Conor was always wavering with that. Like I feel like that was never really official. Like yeah, they were coaching against each other and usually tough. they're supposed to fight each other, right? But they don't have to, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but dude, they were building it. The UFC,
Conor
Dana
was
White,
always wavering with it.
but everyone was building it up like that was the fight,
Well, yeah,
and it's a good fight.
They even said like they will fight to be determined when, but like it will happen type shit later this year. And like
So
whole
yeah,
time,
Conor calling out Gaethje, it's kind of cringe in my opinion. Like you got to fight Chandler. You have to fight Chandler.
my thing is like for me personally, I love Michael Chandler, but I personally want to see McGregor stack a win before fighting like a Gaethje. Jumping right back in there against Gaethje is not the move right now. I don't think.
So you think Gaethje's a bigger threat to Conor than Chandler?
Yes.
Okay, I
Just in,
could see
well,
that.
that's true, but I just believe in Conor too much always. Like, I don't care.
no, for sure. I'm gonna rock with Conor regardless. I'm just saying like I'm saying just in terms of like leg kick specifically. Like I do think Conor snipes Gaethje out because I feel like Gaethje is a little too hittable and Conor hits a little too hard. But
He goes too many hooks. Too many
I
hooks.
would I really don't want to see Conor getting overly kicked in the fucking legs right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just where I'm at right now.
Conor is desperate for a W.
And I don't think that jumping in against a red hot Gaethje is the way to go necessarily.
So do you guys just think like for sure the winner of Oliveira Islam gets Gaethje?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless I mean, it depends on the timeline because I
Yeah.
can see they would pull a Conor fucking skip card so fast. I feel like
It's all about the timing on that one because that fight's like late October, right?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of time from now. I don't know. I mean, kind of, it's all on timing. I don't know when Connor would fight. I don't
exactly.
think he's fighting this year.
It's gonna have to be January, I think. He
Yeah.
fights a lot in January. What do you
But
think's next for Dustin Poirier?
man, well, let's look at the lightweight rankings real quick.
Yeah, I don't know. Fight whoever. Fight
Thank
Benito,
God.
I guess.
Yeah, but he already said he's not.
Fight Dariush. Fight Dariush.
He's not gonna fight Dariush.
Oh,
Why?
no, fight Bazzi. I don't
He
know.
was basically saying in the press conference like he was offered Dariush, it didn't interest him. Gaethje barely interested him.
Honestly, fight.
I mean, but like coming off a loss, can you make that kind of a call?
I think Poirier could.
Yeah, I think he is too much up there now. He beat Connor twice.
Yeah.
One and a half. That shit bogus.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. I get what you mean, but it's technically twice if we're looking at the records.
That shit kind of fried.
I hear a lot of people saying like he's gonna wait to fight Nate Diaz when he comes back.
Oh, Nate Diaz fighting Jake Paul. He ain't coming back.
He's fighting him this Saturday.
He gotta beat Jake Paul. Like I need to see
I think
that.
who wins that fight, y'all, real quick.
Nate Diaz wins
I'm
that
taking
fight.
Diaz, baby.
Yes, Nate Diaz
to the
bro.
bank, to the bank with it, man. Stockton shit.
He's like mine. He's like plus 250.
I'm taking that easy. I think that if Jake doesn't knock him out, type shit, I feel like Nate's cardio will overrun.
The problem is the man knocked out like Woodley clear and beat Anderson Silva. I don't know if Nate Diaz could.
Diaz has a better chin than fucking Woodley by far. So
I get that. I'm just saying he beat Anderson Silva.
I'm saying Anderson Silva was also old as fuck. Like he was like letting him breathe and shit.
He was 46.
Anderson, first of all, I think Anderson won that fight. I thought he fucking won. We both thought he won live.
Yeah. I mean, I was 50-50 on it. I mean, it was close. It wasn't a blowout there.
But either way, like Anderson's never been known for volume necessarily, which is very important in boxing. You can't just be pot shotting people with the big gloves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like Diaz is gonna like walk through, march through, get pinged up a little bit, like early on. Jake's gonna be looking really good, and then eventually maybe round 4 or 5.
I'm not saying
is it an 8-rounder or a 10-rounder, Ed?
10.
That's what I'm saying. 10 rounds is a lot with Nate Diaz zombieing forward. You know what I'm saying?
I'm nervous Nate's gonna turn it on too late. That's what I'm nervous.
Wait. So let me ask you: would Tommy Fury beat Nate Diaz in a boxing match?
Probably,
yeah.
Okay, and you saw their fight, him versus Jake Paul.
I'm saying on the
Pretty
cardio
close. It was
shit though.
very close.
I think Fury is a. I know
him.
the fight was close, but I think Fury's a better boxer by Jake
Yeah, but
than Jake Paul.
Jay knocked him down. Like he knocked a real boxer down. Like in
That was a
boxing.
fake. That was a fake knockdown.
Well, I mean, it is a knockdown.
Have
He
you
didn't
seen
go all
the
the way down.
combined record of Tommy Fury's like other opponents, bro?
Yeah.
Fucking cans, bro.
Bro, I'm just saying,
Are
man.
they not cans?
He was looking quick, bro. Jake Paul was not looking bad in there. Like
No,
that's
he
he's
doesn't
definitely
look
not.
bad at all.
He's good.
that's
He's
what I'm saying.
definitely good.
Like Nate Diaz is not traditionally a boxer. Like he is a UFC fighter. That's all I'm saying. Like he can box. I will not be surprised at all if Nate Diaz wins this fight. But I'm
But do
just
you
saying.
not think that like Nate like coming forward and like leaning on Jake Paul, dirty boxing him is not gonna tire him the fuck out over the course of 10
No,
rounds?
I don't think if you think that's how the fight's gonna go, maybe, but I just don't see that happening really.
We'll see, man.
That's just my opinion. Also, like, how tall is Nate Diaz?
6'1", no?
Is he
I think he's 6 feet, 6'1", yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jake Paul's gonna be a little bigger than him as well.
He'll have the size advantage
But
for
yeah,
sure.
like he's gonna have the size advantage as well. Probably
I
more
just-
power, younger,
Diaz
faster.
is gonna have the chin advantage. Come on now.
I mean, he took some good shots against Tom. Like,
And the fucking cardio advantage.
he might. I mean, Jake. From what I've
To
seen,
me, Jake Paul started to slow down like down the stretch of the Tommy Fury fight a little bit. Like
maybe a
down the
little, but
stretch.
I feel like Nate is like, how old is Nate, bro? How old
I'm
is
saying like my thing is like I don't think that like it's gonna look like how a normal boxing match looks and shit though. I feel like Nate's gonna be like willing to get hit more and like willing to just stay on his ass type shit. Some like, a style that's gonna pace him out. Like I think. I feel like if you get tired against Diaz and he keeps throwing volume the whole fight, if he like took this shit seriously and his cardio is where it needs to be, I feel like he can throw way more punches like over the course of like a 10 round fight type shit. That's what I just think.
I get what you mean. I'm just thinking this is more me thinking MMA, man. There's no way Woodley doesn't beat the crap out of Diaz. Like
I don't know, bro. Woodley's guard.
In their prime, like I'm talking in their primes.
But did
Even late on,
fight him in the prime though? No, he fought him at 41.
even late on, like even late on, in my opinion.
This is a shiesty conference. I don't know, dude. This is
Man,
getting.
let's continue, man.
I'm not gonna lie, like Diaz almost knocked out fucking Leon though. Think about it.
Hey,
Yeah, I think
He
it'll
did.
be a close fight. I think it'll be a close fight.
I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna be watching. I'll tell you that much.
I don't like y'all acting too confident on Nate Diaz right now.
I'm not overconfident. I just think that that's like what's gonna happen type shit. He could get outboxed. I don't see Jake Paul finishing him at all.
Maybe.
That'd be crazy.
I don't know, man. I never thought he'd finish Woodley either, and it happened. Like,
But dude, you could just
full slept. Like that was crazy.
But dude, you could tell Woodley. MMA, he's good, but dude, he is a terrible boxer.
Yeah, but like it was like a full. I've never seen the man get slept so hard. Like it was insane.
The thing is, like Woodley's never been a punching volume guy. He's like explosive, like you know what I'm saying, one punch type shit. Like think about like the Wonder Boy fights with him. Like it's just like back into the cage, lull you to sleep, boom, like one big explosion and then like a ground and pound attempt. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that does not really work in boxing. Like I don't think that like Ngannou's gonna do very well against Fury when they fight. Like I just don't see it.
Before the wrap the video up, let's talk about some real boxing, guys. Over the weekend, Spence versus Crawford. We have a new pound for pound king. Crawford won by TKO. Man, dude, he just kind of bullied him in there.
As I knew what happened, like I didn't think it was gonna look that bad, but that one sided. I thought maybe like 8-4 type shit, decision maybe, or if anything like a later stoppage for Crawford. But like no, like I feel like from round 2 on, it was pretty one-way traffic. Shout out the fucking pound for pound king, man. He came out with Eminem walking him out like he was destined for greatness, man.
Yeah.
Whole time.
I think they'll definitely run it back.
I'm not gonna lie. I did say Spence would win.
So did I.
Only because of length. Was he going up in weight or down? Like,
I'm pretty sure they just both fight at 147.
Oh, they do.
Yeah,
Oh.
but the thing is, I think Spence is the naturally bigger dude. Like
He's definitely
Spence,
taller.
this is like the last fight because I think that Crawford is like fighting up from like a lower weight type shit. So I think that this was like the last time that like Errol Spence wanted to really make this weight anyway. He's been talking about moving up for a minute now, and like they said, Crawford said that because he gets to like set the as the winner, he gets to like set the weight and shit for the rematch. So, but he said he's willing to do it at 154. So, I think Spence might look a little better, but like really, I think it's gonna look a little more competitive, but like probably the same results.
It was just so weird seeing. Oh, go ahead.
No, yeah. I mean, just from what I just saw, going up in weight will not make a difference. It might make it worse.
For real.
If anything, I mean, he might get knocked out of there.
I mean, he damn near got knocked out here.
I see that. Yeah. Well, he did, but it was like, yeah.
I think Spence will.
I don't know about that stop. It wasn't a towel throw, was it? The ref stopped it.
Yeah, I felt it was bullshit in the moment. Like you gotta let Spence go out on his shield. I
know that's what I mean. I wasn't
Spence a warrior in there, but his face looked like mincemeat a little bit.
Yeah, he was getting beat. It was hard to watch because I
fuck with them both, man. Like I fuck with Crawford
too.
I fuck with Crawford more, but I definitely had Crawford in this bitch, but like I did not. Like it's just hard to see like that happen to someone that you know to be so dominant. You know what I mean?
That's what I was about to say. It's so weird to see someone like Errol Spence. He looks untouchable, and all of his other fights get fucking like bullied in there by Crawford.
It's crazy.
Crawford is nasty. He's a dangerous fighter. Like he's dangerous.
It shows that there's levels to this game. And we rarely get to see that in boxing because all the best people rarely fight each other in their prime. So shout out these two for even making that shit happen.
Yeah,
it's like several years like in the making, or like not too late, but like you know what I mean. Like that shit should have happened a long time ago. I personally think that Spence might have been ducking a little bit, like or at least his management was like on some it's not the right fight to make now shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that fight could have happened legitimately 5 years ago. That fight could have happened.
Yeah, so it's happened many times.
Spence, you might not be ducking, man. It might be your management the whole time. You know what I'm saying? It's not your fault. It's a business decision, but shout out Choo Choo for getting in there, high key.
Yeah, shout out to boxing. I know it gets shit on a lot for reasons you just said, X, but they've been putting on great fights this year. Garcia Tank. I think they really learned from the whole Pacquiao Mayweather thing. They waited way too long for the fight to happen, and it was garbage when it did happen. So I think they're.
Hey, Pacquiao had a torn labrum, and they did not let him shoot up cortisol. But
Pacquiao, you don't gotta tell me, bro.
Mayweather would have always won that fight.
No, definitely not. I do not agree.
Oh yeah,
Pacquiao put hands on that.
Y'all Pacquiao fans, Mayweather, Money Mayweather winning.
Full disclosure, Pacquiao is my favorite boxer of all time. But at the end of the day,
same.
But in his prime, he was different, man. In his prime, he was different. Like he would have fucked him up.
Mayweather in his prime was different. Like, and he was still slick in his old age. Like he was.
But the thing is, Pacquiao would have thrown like 700 punches in that fight in his prime.
And Floyd slipping off.
He would have got hit with like 300 of those bitches, though.
He's living all of them. Like
no, bro, no.
Never.
Wait, I'm not gonna lie. Mayweather used to be way more offensive, and I feel like,
yeah, he broke his hands when he was young, type shit. He broke his hands a lot, and so he's stop.
I know he gets a lot of shit. He's probably my go. He's the smartest fighter of all time.
I think he is.
He's the smartest fighter of all time.
I can't give him my GOAT, but like he's up there, definitely in the top 3.
Maybe Muhammad Ali above him, but like
yeah, exactly.
1 and 2 right there.
He's the small GOAT.
Yeah, I feel you.
Okay, wait. One more thing before we wrap this video up. I heard Tank Davis saying that like tweeting at Crawford like saying he'd KO him and shit. And what do you guys think about that?
Crawford destroys him.
I think
Crawford washes him.
I agree 100%. I think all these guys get dog walked by Crawford, man.
There's weight divisions for
Wait, what
reasons.
about what are their names? The Charlo brothers?
See, no, Crawford should fight the Charlo brother that isn't fighting Canelo. I forgot their names. I think it's Jamal. That's who Crawford should fight.
One of them's like 36-0, I think, and the other is like 35-1.
Yeah,
like, they're
one's
both insane. They're both champs, I think, right now.
yeah.
Like I think that's the next fight to make for.
I say Canelo. I say the Charlo bros lose both of those fights. To be honest, in my personal opinion,
probably. Honestly, Embers can like make it happen somehow. Canelo versus Crawford, like that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
I think Canelo's just too big.
Is he too big now, though?
Yeah, he probably is too big, but I mean, how tall is Canelo? Like,
I think he's 5'8", 5'9".
I mean,
he's a lot girthier.
Find a way that makes sense. That'd be the most box office fight ever, in my opinion.
That would be insane, to be honest with you.
It'd be up there.
That'd be insane. And who would win that fight, though?
Canelo.
I'm taking Crawford, man. Fuck it. I'm riding with my boy.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Nasty in there.
I actually don't know. Bivol beat him.
Yeah, but dude, Bivol is
a big man. Bivol's a big man. I get it.
He's a big motherfucker.
He is so much bigger than
man,
Crawford.
But I feel like Crawford might beat Bivol, though. That's what I mean.
What are you talking about? No. What are you talking about?
He might just beat him.
Talk to him, Clarky. Talk to him.
He might just no. Crawford's that good, bro.
Dude, but Bivol's that good too, bro.
He just whooped an undefeated fighter's ass.
But bro, Clark,
like Bivol's not even looking the same conversation at all.
No, Bivol is a top 10 pound for pound boxer, and he's so much bigger than Crawford. It's not close.
Let Crawford eat a couple of steaks and beat his ass, man. Fuck
it won't matter, bro. Bivol's destroying him no matter what.
Woo!
There's no way, dude.
I don't know.
I don't know.
He's
about
so
that
much
way.
bigger.
Terrence over even Canelo right now. Like,
no, I would. Terrence Crawford has a better chance of beating Canelo than Bivol easily.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah. Huh. All right. Anyway, so guys, thank you guys for staying with this long episode. We had hella fun talking about all the news that happened over the weekend. Super lit weekend. We're gonna have a preview card for the Saturday Font versus Sandhagen coming up. Hella stuff coming out on the TikTok and Shorts. We have more tier lists for y'all. We'll catch y'all.
Peace.
Peace.